Today we look at verse 4. In the previous verse, Krishna, the master, says that this ancient yoga was taught long ago to Vivaswan. Arjuna listens and then he asks a question. He says, "You were born recently. Vivaswan lived long ago. How am I to understand that you taught this in the beginning of the creation?" This question is extremely important because it shows what real spiritual maturity looks like. Before we chant, let us settle the mind. Today's sloka is about questioning, but questioning with steadiness, not agitation. Let us invoke clarity and cooperation in learning. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahaihi Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. अर्जुन उवाच अपरं भवतो जन्म परं जन्म विवस्वतः कथमेतद्विजानीयां त्वमादौ प्रोक्तवानिति. Arjuna does not passively accept what Krishna the master says. He asks for clarification. Notice the tone. There is no sarcasm, no accusation, no emotional charge, just thoughtful inquiry. This is not doubt born of rebellion. It is questioning rooted in respect. Spiritual growth does not require silent acceptance. If we accept everything without understanding from the teacher, clarity remains shallow. At the same time, constant suspicion also blocks learning. It closes the mind before understanding can arise. Arjuna shows the balance. He trusts the teacher and he inquires. That balance is maturity. Devotion without inquiry becomes sentiment. Inquiry without humility becomes rigidity. Today's verse 4 shows that questioning is not outside the path, it is part of the path, part of the growth. Let us look at an example. Consider a student in a science class. If the student accepts every statement without understanding what teacher is saying, learning stays superficial. If the student challenges everything aggressively, learning stops. But if the student says, "Hey teacher, can you explain that step again?" clarity deepens. The clarity deepens. That is Arjuna's model. So, the Bhagavad Gita is not authoritarian instruction. It is a dialogue. Questions are welcome when they are sincere and relevant. Healthy inquiry has structure. It stays connected to the teaching. It seeks understanding. It does not aim to defeat the teacher. Arjuna's question is precise. He is not debating personality. He is clarifying logic. This protects the integrity of knowledge. And this is where Karma Yoga matters. When the mind is reactive, questions become attacks. When the mind is steady, questions become instruments of clarity. Disciplined action supports disciplined inquiry. Arjuna's question also opens something deeper. If Krishna appears born in time, how could he have taught at the beginning? This introduces a larger issue. Is identity limited to one birth? Is consciousness confined to a single lifetime? The verse does not answer yet, but it prepares the ground. In daily life, practice this discipline. When confused, pause. When corrected, reflect before reacting. When something challenges your belief, ask clearly. Separate emotion from inquiry. Question to understand, not to win. Reduce defensiveness. When the mind is steady, inquiry becomes transformative. When the mind is disturbed, inquiry becomes disruptive. As we close, today's verse teaches something subtle. True devotion is not silent obedience. True inquiry is not ego-driven argument. The mature seeker holds both. Trust enough to listen, clarity enough to question, humility enough to learn. That is the spirit of this verse. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Swadhyaya Pravachanabhyam Na Pramaditavyam. Om Tat Sat.